Grand Rising, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for my first ever live reading here on this channel. My name is Christine, also known as Nail Psychic Christine. I am a nail artist, a psychic medium, a shamanic practitioner, and a soul activator. I have created this channel strictly for my psychic readings using the Red Raven Scry method. This is a method that I have cultivated using scrying, which is almost like looking into a crystal ball, looking into abstract images, into different types of mediums. Sometimes they use water, sometimes we use coffee, sometimes we use markers, as you can see over here. And we tap into symbology and see past what is obvious to the eye, and we tap into the unknown. So, this is something that I do with my clients. It has been a great success in tapping into things that are not so obvious in the moment. It's always interesting to see what comes out because everyone is quite different. And in this journal here, I have about maybe a little less than 100 examples of other clients' drawings and things like that. So um, I am really excited to get this started and to show you how different ways of how we can utilize art and beauty into our everyday lives to get messages as spirits talks through symbols, and it's through archetypal lens and all that kind of stuff. So I also want to share with you my nails. Let's see them in camera. Wait, oh, here I am. Here we go. Let's see. They're focusing. All right. Seems like I'm getting a call, so 1 second. Okay, we back. We back. It's been a whole crazy rising today. Oh my goodness. Whew. I mean, it is a full moon. Today is the second, so we are almost to the 100% of the full moon, the blood moon tomorrow. A lunar eclipse in Virgo. So very excited for that. And so let's see what kind of messages want to come through for the collective today. So I invite you to get comfy, flat feet on the ground or your butt on the ground, whatever it is. We're going to tap into this space now. Okay. A quick sacred space that we'll set now. Only that which is of our highest good and that which is for the collective, that which is resonating and grounded, anchored in the heart space in all that we do. May divine truth flow through my being, that which is of the highest good for the collective, free of illusion and free of distortion, only that which will provide guidance and clarity for the collective today. Ooh, my left ear is already ringing with a high pitch. All right, so let's see what popped through. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, there's a whole lot going on right now. Okay, that's my alarm for 11 o'clock. I didn't even know I had an alarm for 11 o'clock, so that's interesting. A fun fact is I actually was born at 11:11 a.m. So the number 11 has been a huge, huge learning lesson in my life and a big major theme. Duality, polarity, moving through a portal, being a threshold keeper. And so, yes, thank you so much again for being here today. First things first, I got quite a few different colors here. In order to tap into this reading, please gaze around these colors, see what draws your attention. And my arms and hands will be an extension of yours as well. I'm gonna see what calls my attention today. What color? What is the vibe? My eyes are closed and I want to be over here. Ooh, okay. We have Viridian. Like, how can I ship this? Hold on, guys. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. 54 Viridian. Beautiful. So we're going to put this aside. And I'm also going to pull out the black because that's what I use when I'm tapping into reading the messages. But first, we have Viridian 54. So the number 54 can mean something for you. The number 9. And before we start, I'm going to write that right here. Oh, I don't mean to turn, I bet. 54 Viridian. Perfect. And then we will look that up after. So then I give my clients an option to choose the fine point or the chiseled. So today we are going to definitely chiseled. I'm definitely feeling that chiseled energy. So this is much thicker. It's much louder. So I'm already hearing the word, seeing it at the same time, taking up space, taking up space, taking up space. And there's something about me wanting to do this. Okay, and this is kind of like a green color. So what we're going to do here now is the heart space is where is the nexus point. That is the center that connects the higher realms and the lower realms, also known as heaven or hell, the upper chakras and the lower chakras. So from the heart space is where everything can stem from, where action can be taken from, free of illusion, free of distortion. That is the connection point. That which we can align to. And if our heart is not centered, then everything else kind of is out of whack. So I want you to visualize your heart space now. If you need to put your hand over your heart to just bring that awareness there, please do so now. You can visualize nostrils coming out of your heart and breathing in from that space. And from your heart, I want you to visualize ribbons of light flowing through your arm, down to your hand, through the paper, to the pen, to the paper. You're going to visualize and just watch along as well. As you visualize your heart, this light stream coming down your arm to the hand, to the paper, I will also be connected with you. So we're going to have 1 minute on the clock. I'm going to set that right now. And the whole point of this is to make sure that we are not thinking with our logical mind. We're going to allow this light stream to move our arm, our hand, the marker, wherever it wants to flow, just for 1 minute. And the whole point of this exercise is that we do not stop. Okay? So we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Whew. All right. I'm getting chills, y'all. If you can see my goosebumps. Goose spoons. Do you guys know which reader that is? That says goose spoons. All right. So what I do next is then I'm going to scry at what we have drawn here and just write down a couple of things, keywords and things that show up. I definitely see a head, a side profile. Okay, side profile, a head. And it's a very specific type of head. This is like, I'm seeing a muscular system. You know, like when we remove the skin layer, it's like the muscles. I'm seeing that. Almost like the person. You know how like I always get freaked out about how the mouth looks. It's like we can see it like this. Here's the eye, let's say. There's maybe some muscles here. Sure, I don't know exactly what it looks like, but almost like Attack on Titan. Any anime people here? That's what's coming through first. And so let's see what else. I'm seeing a butterfly right at the pineal gland. At pineal gland. Okay. Is there a color for this butterfly? It's like a purple blue. And there's something about the eyes. Something about the eyes. Or sight. I just saw the words Eve. I'm seeing some kind of impact, trauma, or impact to back of the head. I'm hearing like blunt force trauma. Huh. Okay, interesting. All right, Spirit. Okay, this is so weird. Okay, I see like digging a hole. Oh my gosh, is this some kind of like murder or homicide? Just kidding. I hope not, but all these things are coming through, so it's interesting. I'm seeing digging a hole and I'm also seeing a shovel. But the shovel also turns into like a calligraphy pen. So it's making me think of like biography, or writing a book, or something about telling a story. '54, that's number 9. I'm seeing a word here. Let's see. It's either Meg Spirit, what other things, what other messages wants to come through for the collective at this time? I'm seeing a turtle right here. Like a turtle. The back. I don't know what turtle back looks like. Something like this. Like a turtle's back. But it's in front, covering the third eye. Oh my god, I almost wrote it like this. Third eye. Okay, so it's like something about cleansing the third. Cleansing the third eye, needing to move something. It's like a slow moving energy. It almost feels like protection though. Like someone, it could also be tied to someone who's religious, maybe afraid of opening up to the unseen, the unknown, due to some type of trauma regarding how they process their reality. This could be due to like people in the environment, or also literally have gone through some type of physical abuse. If not physical, it could be mental abuse, kind of clouding the mind space. But there is something within our heart space that is pulling us to dive deeper into uncovering what this thing really is. So I feel like there are many of my viewers today, if this message resonates, is maybe you're not really aware or as knowledgeable about the spiritual realms, about, how spirit works, how energy works. Maybe you're just tapping into these things or kind of afraid to even tap into these things only because it is something that we are not familiar with. And it can also be that there's a lot of people that are against this type of work because they also are not familiar with it. So they fear what they do not know. Also, with this muscular system, I'm seeing that this is something that is embedded within the body. Our body usually knows before our mind can even process it. Our body holds memory. So it's almost like the book I'm seeing, The Body Keeps Score. Something within the muscles that is holding on to a certain way of being and it doesn't know how to relax. I'm seeing though that this is something that it feels right, but I can't pinpoint it. It feels like something that is not dangerous, but because of all of the other energy that's around and something that I can't necessarily see straight in front of me, it seems like it's something that is scary. So I feel kind of scared to go to the other side. But there is something here about a story, something that was perhaps okay. So what I'm seeing is in childhood, let's say you were really into playing with the elements and talking to your imaginary friends and things like that. But this is something that has been pushed down over time. Maybe you talked about it with your family, your friends, and they looked at you like kind of crazy. So I'm seeing you almost shoveling that out, digging through what are these certain narratives that you have been told that do not serve you anymore? What are certain things that maybe because you were such a young child, you didn't understand the difference of how to discern certain things. And obviously, as a child, you want to trust what the adults are saying. So I'm just kind of getting this energy as well. Whew. Okay, I want to quickly look up the word Viridian. Let's see what that means. Viridian. Okay. Ooh. Okay, Viridian is a bluish green pigment consisting of hydrated chromium hydroxide. Okay, so it is a pigment, bluish green pigment. Pigment. This makes me think of skin. It's almost like, when people are racist due to skin color in itself and they cannot see that which is underneath, which we are all exactly the same. The pigment, the skin, it's like a superficial view, which ties in directly to what we were talking about here about being afraid of what you do not know, fearing that which you do not know. Let me see if there's any other meanings of this. Okay, sometimes if I can't find a good meaning from it, I'll look at the etymology, which is how words are broken up, and then you can see where they came from, what kind of influence they had. Okay, vivere, the Latin words just mean green. Green. Okay, perfect. I mean, that's perfect with the heart chakra. because the heart chakra is the nexus point. It is the center where everything can connect. If our upper chakras are activated and our lower chakras are activated, but we are not connected through the heart, and the heart has its own way of discerning. They say that we have three minds, actually. The brain, the mind itself, the heart, and also the stomach. We all have they all have their own way of discerning, making decisions on their own. However, we need to make sure that we are able to connect all of these so that everything checks out here, and checks out here. Not just here, and then it's missing the heart space. We all need to make sure that everything is in alignment when it comes to discerning certain things, new information, new places, especially psychically. Because, you know, if 2 out of 3 of these are checked, but it's not 3 out of 3, then we got to come back and kind of look at it, right? So the heart chakra. The heart chakra, sometimes we don't know with our mind. It's not going to make sense, but we can feel it. We can feel when something is true. We can feel when truth is spoken. And we are all living a spiritual journey. You can disagree and say, oh, well, I'm not spiritual. No, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We have certain senses that we're able to really hone in and tap into and understand how energy works within our own systems, because we are all connected and part of that. So with the heart chakra being the main focus here, it's like, what is your heart saying? What is your heart saying? And following that first and foremost. All right, let's look up also. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I am. This is so interesting. I love how all the different messages comes through, and every time it's so different. All right. All right. Give me a second, guys. Perfect. So let me see if there's any other messages that want to come through right now from this. Okay, I'm also seeing like a, right here, I'm seeing like a compass. And it's going like, but this part is really big. This is like the, I don't know, the pointer. The pointer. And I'm almost seeing like this is north, south, east, west. Yeah, exactly. So it's like our compass here is not in alignment. So it just needs a slight rotation and calibration. Beautiful. 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 I absolutely love that. Definitely seeing some type of calcification regarding the pineal gland here. So if anyone here is using fluoride, it has been known to calcify the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is that which receives, it's our receiver for spiritual divine guidance outside of our own physical experience here. It's almost like an antenna. So there's some certain things blocking that, and that doesn't mean that it can't be unblocked. It just means that we are brought to this awareness to understand where we may have certain limitations in our perception. All right, let's pull some cards. I love doing this part. Spirit, please guide me. I have a whole rack over here. You can kind of see of decks all lined up. So let's see, Spirit, what is it that we want to pull today? Interesting. Okay. So these are my career archetype cards. So let's see what energy are my collectives in, specifically regarding this reading here today. What is the message for the collective? Lurgy. Guardians of faith, religion, morality, compassion, sacred mission. Isn't that interesting? I'm pretty sure I mentioned something about the church, being religious, having some type of trauma. Um, getting chills right now. I'm being brought to a couple of things, but the first thing that I want to share with you is if you don't feel like you connect with the church, if you feel like you are the black sheep, and if you had traumatic experiences within certain religious groups, just know that religion was created to stray us from that which is the divine truth, and it has been done so very strategically. And it's so that we do not awaken to our power, do not awaken to the truth of who we are. And this card coming out to me is a very good sign that we are on the divine path. And that is because people who are on the path of religious trauma and then coming out of it, that is a spiritual alchemization, transformation in itself. I personally did not have any religious trauma. However, my family did go to church and things like that, but it wasn't very serious, like how I know many, many, many people in the world have experienced religion being kind of forced down their throat. This is a time of awakening where we're able to finally see beyond the illusion and finally see, like, hey, let me look around and see where I'm at. Why are we doing this? Why are we here worshiping said God, reading these books, doing or whatever, right? Why are we doing it? It's about understanding the journey that you're on and what kind of unique experience of you going through that, how that's going to help you in your spiritual journey of understanding deeper layers of consciousness, of existence, the reality in itself. So this is almost like a sacred mission, part of your divine purpose to awaken to the fact and to activate new pathways of being, of connecting with spirit, and understanding how we can unprogram, uncondition ourselves and our perspectives, and how easy it is to also be conditioned. So it's this going back and forth of I'm getting distracted with my phone. Hello. Let me put that on Do Not Disturb. It's about going back and forth with knowing how to untangle and then rebraid as necessary. And specifically for this reading, it's talking about religious trauma, certain practices being forced upon you due to your environment, and it seems like it's from a very young upbringing. All right. And a lot of these things also seem like they are tied within the ancestral line. So it's passed down through your DNA that certain habits and ways of thinking have continued to progress. So it's up to you if you want to decide to remove the blockages, start to break open the calcifications, and to rebraid that which you do want into your being. Okay. Whew, that feels great. Let's get some more cards here. Naturally, I wanted to go to this deck here. What is the vibe? So what is the vibe, Spirit? What else? What other messages can we help our collective tap into today? I just totally saw a bird in my mind's eye just singing and dancing, almost like one of those old style cartoons, like Looney Tunes type vibe. Let's see, what is the vibe, Spirit? Ooh, thank you. Burned bridges. Lack of trust, disloyal, turned back on. And the color of the matches here look very similar to the color that we chose today. Lack of trust, disloyal, turned back on. Yeah, with this, I'm seeing that when you start going on to your journey, you know, after you see this reading and you start to really reflect and implement certain ways of being and thinking, people might start to test you. People might start to question you, maybe even talk down and be like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why are you doing that? X, Y, and Z. You know, so many different layers of intensity with that. So I could definitely see that that could happen. However, it is up to you on how you react in that situation. You don't have to give anyone your reaction. All right. This is what most people usually want out of you. And honestly, this is part of the journey. Have you guys played Mario World? You know how there's like different worlds and there's different like points and then you have to go to the boss. Yeah, this is going to be along that journey. You're going to have people who are going to question you, people that will criticize you, and it's about building that callus, being able to take in a sense, or you don't have to take it in, but being able to observe without giving your reaction. Because it's easy to just react, but give it a second. Take a side profile view, give it a second, hear what they have to say, and just know that them reacting is out of fear and reacting out of a projection as well. Especially if this is people that you grew up with and this is just the way that you've been living. Stand your ground and just know that as long as you are connected to your heart center, as long as you know why you are doing something, why you are moving in the way that you want to move. Ooh, I'm feeling it in my nose is getting itchy. That is all that matters, and just know that spirit is always with you, your divine guidance, your spirit team, that which is of your highest good. Okay, especially when you are building your courage, especially when you are embarking on this new spiritual journey, you are being guided. However, there are initiatory stages, and energy is not a straight line, it is a spiral. So there will be moments where you feel really good and high and mighty, and there will be all other moments where you feel like, oh my gosh, did I go backwards? And in the moment it could look so when you're down here, but if we look at blow up the graph and look at the scale, it's you going exponentially up, or at least moving upward in a positive direction. Okay, beautiful. And also just know that when you cut people out of your life, it doesn't mean that you'll be more lonely. It doesn't mean that you won't find other people, because a lot of people sometimes feel scared that if they cut people off that they're going to be alone. That's a totally normal fear to have, but also you can look at it this way, that if you cut people out, then you leave more space and room for the new to come in. If there's no room for new to come in, how can that come in? We first have to start to remove certain things that do not belong to us. And it doesn't have to be all at once, all at once. You got to be from here to here real quick. You can take baby steps. And I actually always take baby steps because I can easily get overwhelmed. And me taking baby steps, making consistent efforts every day, every week, every moment, as long as it's consistent, before you know it, you'll already be at the end. And you'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, I came so far. So yes, I also am noticing with clergy, it starts with the C, which is number 3. Burned bridges, that's number 2. So it's almost like we're going backwards. So it's like undoing and then rebraiding. All right. Whew, beautiful. Let me put this here. I'm feeling called to pull this deck. This is my Hecate deck given to me by my lovely best friend. And let's see what wants to come out as our third message today. Hecate, show us the way. Keep all our darkness and dangers at bay. Whoo! Wow. Okay. Freedom. Didn't I mention 1111, guys? Look at this. This looks like, oops. This looks like 11, the number 11, doesn't it? Is this their horn or something? But I also love the white and the black, the duality. Something that I've never noticed while I had this deck is where the horns or the horn is pointing. So on the black here, it looks like it's the belly. And on the top, it looks like it's almost the back, which is the front and the back. Oh, and my tummy just rumbled right now. All right, let's see. Let's see what other messages we wants to come through with that. I believe these are narwhals. Hold on. Narwhals? Yes. They're a species of toothed whale native to the Arctic. They are mammals. And let's see. Males possess long straight tusks that projects toward above. Okay. They are called the unicorns of the sea. I believe that there are only a certain ethnic group that's allowed to eat narwhals. I don't know if that's true. Let's see. Okay. But they live in the Arctic, and I believe that they... So they're a whale. So they got the whale song. They're found in the Arctic Ocean. Male narwhals have a tooth that grows into a long counterclockwise spiraled tusk, resembling the shape of a mythical unicorn horn. Digging hole. It kind of reminds me of that. It's like digging, you know, like the... Let's see. Narwhal pods generally consist of 2 to 10 individuals, but may occur in large dispersed groups of hundreds to thousands of individuals. Smaller groups occur during winter due to the formation of sea ice, and larger groups occur during summer due to open water. Groups may be segregated by age and sex. Okay. Yes. Yes. So what I'm seeing with that is there will be times where you will be integrated with the community and times where it's not going to be as abundant in the community in numbers per se is what I'm seeing. I'm almost seeing like someone who along this journey is going to start to move to different groups and start to discover themselves in different ways. And this is extremely important because I know that for a lot of times in the church, we grew up with these people. We are almost in our own little bubble and world. So it's not that you have to totally disconnect from this. If your loved ones are there and you enjoy being around the people and all that, you know what I mean? Like you made a lot of memories there. It doesn't mean that you have to cut it off. But just know that there are times and moments in your life that you will travel in order to move away from home so that you can learn more deeply about yourself. And this can only happen through learning first about the polarities, about the good versus bad, up versus down, white versus black. These things, when we see it from such a place of separation, it can seem like, oh, that's bad, oh, that's good. But who's saying what is good and bad? So this is a big lesson that I'm seeing that you'll be learning along your journey moving forward. That actually there is no such thing as good or bad. It's just all the same degrees. You cannot truly know something is bad without knowing what is right, what is good. You can't know what love truly is versus hating someone. It's all varying difference in degrees. For example, like what is white and what is black? White, the closer we get to the center, maybe it'll turn gray, but then it can turn black. So what are we considering black and what are we considering white? This is one of the Hermetic laws. If you're into the Hermetica 3 initiates, I highly, highly recommend learning that because you can then learn the universal laws and kind of hack the system spiritually. Yeah, so I love that for y'all. And it's all about, oh, wait, let me show you. Look at this, sacred. Look at the rope. This is what I mean. It's truly about untangling, rebraiding, reorganizing your thoughts, your beliefs, why you move the way you move, who you want to associate yourself with, and coming into a life that is sacredly important to you and knowing that you yourself are sacred. It's not that you need to connect to something outside of yourself. Everything happens first from the heart space. Our spirit guides, our angels, our guardians, these are all just aspects, emanations of ourself, emanations of the divine, the source that we all come from. Everything is the microcosm to the macro. So it's not that you're like literally praying to some being out there in space and this person is like blessing you. It's not really like that. And we can get more into this in later readings, but it's different aspects of consciousness that is reflected and manifested in a way that you can best understand. So if religion is something that you grew up with, this is your life, this is how everyone around you talks, then the way that you can also see spiritual signs may come through religious means, because that's the way that we understand and are able to decode the meaning. Spiritual messages are extremely symbolic. Knowing how to unravel a message and understand the meaning, the deeper meanings. It could be metaphorical, it could be literal. I mean, sometimes it's literal. Are we talking about death? Sometimes it's a literal death, sometimes it's a metaphorical death. And this all requires discernment along your journey for understanding how to see what messages are truly meant for you in that moment. And it's going to take some time to do that. But sometimes it's like a boom, your channel is so clear, you're able to just, sometimes you just know. All right. I'd love to, let me pull some of these dice here. Pisces. Oh my God, you cannot make this up, guys. Look at this. 11 with Pisces. I'm a Pisces rising, actually. Oh my gosh, stop. This is crazy. I also have Saturn in Pisces in my first house. Ooh. Yeah, so our communities are going through a shift right now. The way that we are viewed, the way that we show up, whether that's online or within our groups and our friends, it's about seeing beyond the woo-woo. Honestly, because church, sometimes it just, the things that they teach, it just sometimes does not make sense. Like, what is that rooted in? Yes, in the Bible, they say that, but we have to use discernment and see like how valid is this? We have to use some of that in order to understand truly our place and what is being presented to us in our environment. So I'm seeing that we're going through a cleansing, a restructuring of our communities and how we show up. All right. Okay, Spirit. So what is being activated for my collective today? What is being activated for my collective today? Woo! Okay, that card just flew on the ground. 1 second. Oh my gosh! Guys, I cannot. 11, belief. Wow. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Oh my goodness. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is kind of like what it's reminding me what I said earlier about trusting yourself when it comes to which steps you are taking now from now on forward. There will be people that may question you, but it's about your belief and your connection to source and knowing that that connection is through your heart. You cannot be led astray. And if you feel that you have lived your life as a lie up until now, I invite you to think of it in a way that empowers you, because there's nothing that beats personal experience. Ooh, Guys, I am a psychic that cries a lot because I can just feel what has been trapped, what has been held deep inside, and it makes me very emotional. So I feel as though there's somebody out there that feels like, okay, woo, that feels like they were living a lie and they almost feel like worthless. They feel mad at themselves. Like they feel like, how could I have been so stupid? And I want to invite you to reprogram the way that you think that, to rewrite the way that you speak to yourself internally, because our beliefs is what really creates our reality. That which you think, then you feel, and then it manifests into our reality. If you know any of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, so that's what I'm seeing with there. So your belief, your faith is one of the most powerful things that you can have. It is literally irreplaceable. It is extremely sacred, and everyone has their own connection to source, whether that's extremely connected or disconnected. And that doesn't mean that you can't get reconnected. Okay. So tapping into letting things just flow out for you, knowing that you don't have to have all the answers all at once, knowing that you will be caught as long as you are working towards finding truth for yourself and getting to know yourself better and being patient along the way and loving the journey, honestly. And I know it can be fucking hard. Oh my God. I don't know if I can swear, but I wanted to say that. I know it can be hard and I know it can feel so lonely. But just know that you are in training. Just know that you are being initiated into higher levels. And there's no looking back once you make that choice. There is absolutely no looking back. And so I want to pull these cards today, the astrological cards. Spell their messages, Spirit. Thank you. And that's a lot. So let's just get one. Okay, it says, Leo, I will. So Spirit's like, yes, I will. I will. Okay, I don't know what that was. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, Sagittarius, I see. Yes. Seeing farther beyond the now. You know, where is it that you want to go? Where is it that you want to be? How is it that you want to live your life? How do you want people around you to react to you? All of this, focusing on the positive, focusing on expansion instead of staying within our circle, focusing on breathing a little bigger, breathing so that our chest can open up, not breathing just these shallow breaths, making sure that that can expand your rib cage so that you can reach farther heights. And I'm seeing that if you don't already write your goals down or have a place where you can revisit your goals, even if that's just a post-it note, bruh, like honestly, like you can put a post-it note and put it on your computer monitor screen. I do that all the time. Something like this to keep yourself reminded. Affirmations, very important. You can change your phone wallpaper screen, doing things to help you connect with your higher mind, to connect with the infinite for the source, and allowing that to come into your body, allowing that to enter in a way that you feel can happen gradually. Yes, and just giving yourself a lot of love, and just know that it's gonna take time. There is no rush. You are always on divine timing. There are no such things as coincidences. All right. And I just naturally feel like there's just one more card that wants to come here before we close out. What card? What card? What card? Okay. I'm being called to this. I did not know that this like pattern is called gingham. Gingham. um let's see, what is our closing out message for the collective today. If you're here with me still, I thank you so much for joining me on my first live. We will be live streaming once I get this figured out, but if you are interested in any readings on the side, you can check out my description and link in the bio. Okay, so 2 wanted to come out here. So I'm gonna split this. This one here is going to be number 1, and this is going to be number 2. So If you have a question right now, I want you to ask it to your being, to your guides, and then you're going to choose either one or two. Pause it if you need more time. So for the collective who asked a question for pile number 1, let's see what your answer is. Abundance. Abundance. I always think of Fruit of the Loom when I think about this. And immediately I was brought to, when this was reversed, I was brought to Mandela effects. There's a huge Mandela effect with Fruit of the Loom about the cornucopia. Okay, there totally was a cornucopia, and I believe that there were people that later came out with receipts that had the cornucopia with the Fruit of the Loom. So it's like, what are they saying? Why are they trying to say like that never existed? Your abundance may not be shown right now. Again, it may take some time. However, it is there and it will be revealed in due time. There is something when what I'm seeing here, when the sun is rising, the sun doesn't just rise at like 3 a.m. It rises at a very specific time, and that's what I'm seeing for you. So do not be discouraged about your abundance taking a little bit more time than usual. There are certain times when the fruits are sweetest, okay? So that's what I'm seeing with that. So people who picked the second pile, let's see the answer to your question. Ooh, awaken. I love that. Look at the eye, guys. The eyes are the same color as what we picked. The heart chakra, seeing through the lens of the heart space and all that you do. So whatever question you ask, the answer is opening your eyes through your heart space. So knowing, walking, speaking from that lens. It's like literally putting, I said put no nostrils onto your heart. It's like putting your eyeballs onto your heart and seeing through that. For example, let's say you may really like person A, and there's also person B is really good. Person A has everything you like. Like they just look perfect. Like it's like, oh my god, so freaking hot, right? But the personality, there's a couple of red flags that you've seen. Person B, maybe not the best looking, still beautiful, but not like as pile number 1, right? But your heart, there's something that you're seeing about this person that just feels right, and you know that you'll be taken care of. It's kind of like that. Okay, that's like the best example I can give right now. But yeah, guys. And I see, look at the sparkles around at this point. When the eyes are open, it's like the sparkles. You're going to start to see the sparkles, and you're going to start to see the universe work in very miraculous ways for you. So open up thy heart, okay? Whew! Wow, this has been an amazing first read. I am so excited to just be here with you. And thank you for joining into the portal today, especially with the number 11. It really came in hot. I hope that all these messages can provide you clarity and guidance. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can check out the links in the description. YouTube still has to verify my channel in order for me to put links in the description or something like that. So just check it. I feel like it will be there. I'll try my best. Also, I am a nail psychic, so I have personalized, ritualized nail sessions where I create unique designs that have been channeled from spirit that can activate your highest being based on your psychic reading. So I'm the only one that does a psychic reading plus unique freestyle nails that go along with that. It's almost like having a vision board on your hands. I have another channel called Just Nail Psychic Christine. Please check me out there. I have TikTok and Instagram available as well. Yeah, whatever social media works best for you. And yeah, let me show you guys. Ooh. Ding, ding, ding. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we will now close out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. It is March. I am so, so happy it's March. We're having our blood moon tomorrow night at 333, which is crazy, y'all. Crazy. I'll be going live again on Wednesday and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be the schedule for now. If anything changes, I will let you guys know. But thank you so much. Please like, share, and comment if this video has resonated with you today. And I am so excited to see you guys again. This was so much fun.